Orange County is home to some of the most amazing coastal cities and beaches in the entire world. But in this video, we're gonna go through and just break down all the different options you have of coastal cities in Orange County. And if you don't know who I am, my name is Christian Stubbs. I am the owner and team leader of Onyx Homes, which is a real estate sales team that has helped over 600 people move just since 2020. And this channel is all about Orange County. Our goal here is to give you as much information as possible to hopefully make your next move, if you're thinking about doing it, to or from Orange County a little bit easier. All right, so let's go ahead and dive right into the video. We're gonna start in the south point of Orange County in San Clemente. Now, San Clemente is got some amazing beaches, and it's probably outside of Huntington what is best known for the surfing. There's so many different surf spots in San Clemente. There's a lot of different stuff to do in San Clemente. So here's a few facts about San Clemente. The median age is 44 years old. There are a lot of young families in San Clemente. Now, San Clemente's got a few different things going for it. You have a long stretch of coastal city, and then you have the 5 freeway, which is pretty close to the coast. Probably, well, definitely any city in Orange County, it has got the 5 freeway very, very close to the coast. So pretty much anywhere you live in San Clemente, you're gonna be very convenient location to the freeway at least. Now, once you get east of the freeway, you're gonna notice that the geography is very hilly. It goes kind of flat on the beach and then straight up after the freeway. Now, what this does is it gives you two totally different dynamics. Up in the hills, you're gonna have amazing panoramic views, and you're gonna get a little bit bigger houses, and you're gonna get more for your money because you're further away from the ocean, but the views are insane up in the hills of San Clemente. Now, in the hills, you also have neighborhoods like Talega, you have Rancho San Clemente, you have a lot of different types of neighborhoods as well too, that are super family friendly, Talega probably being the most of anything in San Clemente like that. Tons of amenities, very, very nice HOAs, very, very nice houses. But in San Clemente, you've got a little bit of everything. You've got the downtown down in Del Mar, you've got fantastic beaches, you're very close to North San Diego County, and it's a suburban coastal town with the little small town flares that everybody likes to see in a beach town. Now, as far as real estate goes, the median home price in San Clemente is $1.55 million. So as far as an affordability standpoint, San Clemente is one of the most affordable beach cities in all of Orange County. And to be honest, it's probably one of the most, definitely in my opinion, is the most undervalued beach city in all of Orange County. So let's go ahead and do this. I'm gonna pull up our website here, onyxhomes.com, and I'm gonna click on the search tab up here, and we're just gonna pull up all of Orange County. So if I zoom out, Orange County is right in between Los Angeles and San Diego County, and San Clemente is the furthest south point. So like I just mentioned, is San Clemente is closest to your San Diego County, obviously. But here is San Clemente. Now, as you can see, the 5 freeway runs right pretty much through the middle, not even the middle. It just runs right through San Clemente, which makes it really convenient to get around the city itself. So as you can see, you've got Talega, and then you've got down towards the beaches, you have a lot more congestion's probably the right way to say it. Your properties are much smaller, older, kind of beach shacky down in that kind of area. But as far as real estate goes, let's look at just San Clemente here. All right, so let's go ahead and pull just San Clemente up, and you can see that there is going to be a very wide range in properties. So we have $400,000 1-bedroom townhomes, and we've got there's some manufactured homes in here as well too. So on the low side, we've got $400,000, and on the high side, we have $55 million down by Richard Nixon's house. This is on Calle Isabella. These are unreal properties. This is a 12,000 square foot, 7-bed, 11-bath, just an absolute compound. So as you can see in San Clemente, like any of these coastal cities we're going to look at, you're gonna have some crazy properties. But let's go ahead and look at the maximum price point. Let's go into just 1.6 and look at the most expensive under that. All right, so as you can see, if we're looking at just for properties in between kind of 1.3 and 1.6 in that median home price, you could be all over the place. You could be down by the water, right by the pier, and you could be in a townhome condo. This is a 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,500 square foot. This is a really nice little property. You're super close to the beach, as you can see. Or you could be kind of up in the hillside and get a 2,800 square foot house in Talega. So there's a wide range of what you're gonna get for that median home price in San Clemente. Definitely something you wanna check out. Super cool city to go see. But let's go ahead and move on to our next one, moving right up the street, and this is going to be Dana Point, California. All right, now staying on our website here, I'm just gonna go ahead and type in Dana Point. Let's go ahead and filter for just that, and let's get rid of San Clemente. So So let's filter for that. So now we can see where Dana Point's at. Now, this is a little bit confusing here because Dana Point goes real skinny down into San Clemente. This is down on Beach Road, and you've got Capo Beach. So Dana Point, you've got three very distinct sections to Dana Point. You have Capo Beach, Capistrano Beach, which basically is this section down here on the map. Then you have maybe 4 different sections. Then you have the Lantern District, which starts where Capo Beach ends and kind of goes this whole section here. The Lantern District, the reason it's called Lantern District is Golden Lantern's kind of the main road that runs through here. And then you can see there's Blue Lantern, you've got Copper Lantern over here, you've got Green Lantern. So there's a lot of different lantern streets that kind of run up and down, north and south, to the Dana Point Harbor. So just kind of think of that Dana Point Harbor area being the Lantern District. And then you have Dana Hills, which is the suburb kind of section of Dana Point. You've got a lot of single family houses here, and Dana Hills High School is kind of right at the heart of that. And these are your much more affordable homes, really no ocean, not very many ocean views, but a lot of single family houses and townhome condos. Now the last section is the Monarch Beach area. So you have kind of surrounded around the Waldorf Astoria Monarch Beach Resort. You've also got the Ritz-Carlton. This is where you've got the most expensive properties, some of in Orange County. So you've got the Strand, which is one of the newest, well, it is probably the newest development. Some fantastic beach, oceanfront properties there. You've got Miguel Shores, you've got Monarch Beach, you've got Monarch Bay and Monarch Terrace. So there's a lot going on in this area as well too. But let's talk about Dana Point as a whole. So the median age for Dana Point is 49 years old. So it's a little bit older crowd than San Clemente, for example. And that's really what Dana Point's kind of known for. It's known for this mix of, you've got kind of suburbia in the Dana Hills area, and then you have like just an older, sleepy town. Now, I will say there is an entire harbor revitalization going on in the Dana Point Harbor itself, which I think is going to drive the bridge age down, the median price way up through the roof. They're putting about $1 billion into the harbor. So this is going to take a very long time to actually happen. They've started the process already. They're redoing the docks, they're making it newer, they're making it nicer. They're putting in much larger boat slips as well too. They've completely redone the downtown area on Del Prado, which is right down here. I'm gonna go back to my map. In the Lantern District, this kind of Del Prado area is this right here. And there's all kinds of new stuff, kind of mixed in with old stuff for Dana Point as well too. As far as a vibe, it is a very relaxed environment. San Clemente is more of a beach bum environment. I'm talking very broadly. And that mixed with young families, Dana Point is a very older, slower feel, relaxed environment. Now, there's a lot of more upscale stuff coming, so that is definitely shifting. My personal favorite is Dana Point. That is a kind of a spoiler alert, and I love the Lantern District area. I personally think this is going to turn into another coastal city, more of a vibe of a Corona del Mar, which is a significantly higher average price point, but it's a very different overall city. But anyway, that's some information on Dana Point. Let's go ahead and go back to real estate because the median home price in Dana Point is only $1.2 million. So it's less than San Clemente. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull up homes. Let's go ahead and look at the highest priced home currently for sale, $39 million. This is in Monarch Bay. This is oceanfront cliff property. This is built in 2022, 7,000 square foot, 4 bed, 6 bath. Very, very different vibe from what you saw in San Clemente. That is more of a compound feel. This is oceanfront, very, very beautiful property. Then you've also got property on the Strand, which is one of the most exclusive neighborhoods in all of Orange County. Absolutely spectacular house. This thing is listed for almost $35 million. And recently we had a $55 million listing in Dana Point as well too. Now, if we look at the least expensive, we're gonna pull up $29,000 land apparently. But you're gonna see Sea Bluff Estates, which is a senior facility, so I wouldn't really, assisted living facility, so I wouldn't really count that. But for $420,000 in Doheny Way, you could have a 1 bed, 1 bath. You have some condos in that $500,000 price point as well too, that are outside of what I mentioned. So you can be super affordable in Dana Point and be really close. Now, for under $500,000, you can be in a condo right by the ocean. I mean, this is something that just like that. That's not going to be around absolutely forever. There's a lot of different sections as well too. So that's kind of your range. I mean, just like San Clemente, you have a huge range of affordability of different types of houses. and what you get for your money. All right, now that is Dana Point. Let's go ahead and move to the next city north, which you might have guessed it is Laguna Beach. The median age is actually older than even in Dana Point. Median age here is 53, almost 54 years old. Laguna Beach is home to the absolute most beautiful beaches and coastline in a lot of the world. Laguna Beach ranks up way up there. But definitely in Orange County, Laguna Beach has the nicest coastline of any of the coastal cities. You have such a unique city here in Laguna Beach for a lot of different reasons. It is so home to the arts. You have some of the best architecture, some of the most unique architecture in Laguna Beach that you really just do not see anywhere else on the coast. I don't think you really see it anywhere else in Orange County as a whole. Laguna Beach just has such its own character. It is so rooted in the arts that there's really not even hardly any chain restaurants. There's like not even fast food restaurants. There's a Jack in the Box and Taco Bell. I don't even know if there's Jack in the Box actually, now that I'm talking about it. You just don't see these types of things. Almost every restaurant is a mom and pop or like a local owned business. All of the art places are super boutique. There's a lot of quaint little things to go to. There is just so much to say that's unique about Laguna Beach. Now, one thing that also is unique about Laguna Beach is there's only 3 ways in and out. You have PCH north and south, and then you have the 133 Canyon toll road that gets you out that way. So as far as getting to and leaving in traffic in Laguna Beach, probably the worst traffic during the busy season of the summer, probably the worst traffic you can imagine, just because it's a 2-lane road all the way in and out on PCH. And there's just a lot of people that want to go to Laguna. I mean, it is an icon of Orange County for a reason. And it also feels very secluded from the rest of Orange County. Now, one of the major reasons, let me dive into the map here, is if we just look at the map, Laguna Beach is literally surrounded by green, and it is the only city that feels like this absolutely at all. And there is a really small bit that connects where Dana Point's at, right on where 3H Arch Bay starts is right where Dana Point really stops. And you've got this beautiful mountainside, you've got the Laguna Cliffs, Laguna Coastal Wilderness Park, and the Crystal Cove State Park, which all of this just really nestles in Laguna Beach up on this cliffside. So it's absolutely some of the most beautiful coastline, and it's just a really unique city overall. Now let's go ahead and dive into the real estate, because this is the first part where it really changes from the first 2 cities we talked about. The median home price in Laguna Beach right now is $3.4 million. So I'm just gonna go ahead and type in $3 million to, let's say $4 million. Let's just see what pops up. Now in Laguna Beach, you could be all the way up here at the top of the world and get into a 2,250 square foot, 3-bed, 2-bath, where you're gonna have panoramic ocean views, assuming you do have an ocean view from the property. Is, as you can see, because you're so far up this hill, your views are really spectacular. I don't want to show too much of the house because that's not as important, but like this view is just insane. So up here at top of the world for that $3-4 million range, you could also be right down by the beach and be in a 1,400 square foot kind of beach cottage. Now this is probably not going to have an ocean view. It's only 1,400 square feet. And we can kind of look through the pictures. It's a really cute, pretty little house. But as you can see, there's a huge difference for what you can get for the same amount of money. Now the difference is you want to be kind of right down in the middle of it on all the different tree streets, or do you want to be up the top of the world, far away from stuff, but you have this spectacular view in a much bigger house? That's kind of your coastal dilemma, is what really are you looking for? And it's a good thing because most of these coastal cities are going to have a little bit of both. All right, now let's continue our trend, and let me get rid of this filter here, and I'm just going to go ahead and say what is the most expensive property that is currently for sale in Laguna Beach. And we have a property on La Senda Drive. This is listed for, I just missed the number, $40 million. Now this is an absolutely spectacular property, of course, right on the coast, really, really hard to beat here. 4 beds, 7 baths, 4,000 square feet. So as you can see, for $40 million in Laguna, you get a whole heck of a lot less house than you would in Dana Point or San Clemente. So obviously Laguna Beach is a way higher median average, highest price point. Laguna Beach is gonna have $100 million listings that'll sell, and you're gonna see a lot of that $30 million range in a lot of different areas in Laguna Beach as well too. Now, talking about high price points, let's also go ahead and look at the low price point. Let me get rid of my price filter here so we can see the most affordable stuff in Laguna Beach. Now, one thing I wanna make sure that I do is I'm gonna get rid of land. So let's just look at residential, because there's a lot of land that you're gonna see in Laguna Beach. Now let's also go ahead and get rid of anything that is manufactured. Okay, so let's go ahead and scroll past. We have some manufactured homes. The reason I'm scrolling past these is because they're $350,000, but there is a hefty space lease. There's a $4,000 a month space lease here that does increase every year. Fantastic properties if this is something that you're looking for, but I'll scroll past that. Okay, so if we go to the most affordable properties, we're gonna go all the way in here inland, and this is kind of snuck into Laguna Beach. This is right on the coast of Aliso Viejo, so you can be technically in Laguna Beach, and you can be right on the toll road here for $800,000. And then if we look inside of Laguna Beach, and we're looking for some of the more affordable places, right around for $1 million bucks, you can start to get into some townhome condos in Laguna Beach. So it's not impossible to live in Laguna Beach for that median home price for all of Orange County. It's right at that 1.15 range. So you definitely can live in Laguna Beach for that price point. You're just not going to be getting a huge house, of course. Okay, so we just finished in Laguna Beach. Now we're going to move into the most expensive city in all of Orange County, which is Newport Beach. This really should be no surprise whatsoever. I think everybody knows the name Newport Beach, but let's get some more information here. Now, the median age in Newport Beach is 46, almost 47 years old. So it's a little bit younger crowd than what you'll see in Laguna Beach, which, knowing the area, is not quite surprising. Also, Newport Beach is massive. Newport Beach is 53 square miles, and it's really broken down into 3 different parts. You have Newport Beach itself, the city proper. You have Newport Coast, which is obviously really just Newport on the coast. Then you also have Corona del Mar, which some people will consider to be its own little sub-city. It really is a part of Newport Beach. We won't talk about that separately from this report. Newport Beach can be extremely touristy, as can any, obviously, coastal city you're gonna deal with. But because Newport's so big, it doesn't feel as touristy as like a Laguna Beach or a Huntington. The coast is just not as big. So Newport doesn't feel as touristy from a local's perspective as like Laguna Beach definitely does more so. Now, one of the biggest things that's unique with Newport is you have really a mix of everything. So Newport has some of the really, really high-end stuff. They also have some of the more mom and pop stuff. On top of that is from a diversity standpoint for real estate is you have Balboa Island, which is super quaint. That'd probably be more like Laguna Beach than anything. You've got the Peninsula, which is right on the sand, homes that are spectacular, but like you are on the sand and your boardwalk right in front of your house, super unique. And then you have Newport Coast, which is like the opposite of Laguna Beach. It is massive properties behind beautiful gated communities. You have Pelican Hill, you also have Crystal Cove. Both of these neighborhoods have very large properties, super private, super exclusive. Newer construction as well too, and they're all relatively similar when it comes to the architectural design, right? Kind of the opposite of Laguna Beach. Most people that would want to live in Crystal Cove or Newport Coast, they should say, would not even want to live in Laguna, and vice versa. So they're very unique in that standpoint. Newport is probably one of the most popular places for nightlife. It's a huge city, so there's a lot of things to do. There's a lot of coast as well because you have the harbor, the peninsula, Balboa Island. You've got the fun zone down there, and you have a lot of PCH stretch there. There's just a lot of stuff in Newport Beach. I think one of the major reasons for it is it's really quite easy to get to from anywhere. So unlike Laguna Beach that only has PCH north and south and the Laguna Canyon Road to get out, Newport's very easy to get to. You have the 55 freeway that rolls right into it. You have PCH, which is, instead of 2 lanes like it is through Laguna, it's like 4 or 5 lanes. It's almost a freeway itself through Newport, so it just makes it way more convenient to get around. It's also way more commercialized. So there's hotels, there's tons of restaurants, chain restaurants, local restaurants. It really just has a lot more of everything. Also, it's central. So the 55 freeway, it really just runs pretty much right through kind of the north middle, if that makes any sense, of Orange County. But your cities go, let me pull up the map here. So we've got Newport Beach, which is tied very closely to Costa Mesa, but Irvine is the central hub of Orange County, and Newport is really just the coastal version of Irvine with some very, very high-end properties. Now, we're looking at this, so we might as well look at some of the most affordable properties. So as we can see, we've got a lot of 1 and 2 bedroom properties for under $1 million bucks, which is awesome if that's what you're looking for. But let's go ahead and look at the most expensive properties just so we can see. We currently have 66 million, 64 million, 60 million. These are all Newport Coast, and then we've got one right on the water. So I'll just go ahead and click on this one because it is super unique. We've got $58 million on a 12,000 square foot house that is right in the harbor. I mean, this is a spectacular property. But then on the flip side of that, you have $66 million up here in Newport Coast. So you can see very, very different types of properties. So this is brand new construction, 10,000 square feet. And this was built, not brand new, I guess, 2019. Hard to say that that's old by any stretch of the imagination. And then we got another property here as well too, which is right on the harbor. So this is 3,000 square feet, 6 beds, 5 baths. So totally different property here as well too. There is a lot of different diversity. There's a lot of really expensive properties in Newport Beach. And you can see they kind of go all over the place. So here's one that's on Back Bay. This is on Mesa Drive. Super, super unique property. This is built in 1966, so kind of the opposite of everything we just talked about. How much land is this on? Yeah, 2.7 acres in Newport Beach on Back Bay. This is a really cool property. A lot of different unique architecture. Looks almost like a compound, if you will. But as you can see, in comparison to Newport and Laguna Beach, the where your money goes is just doesn't go nearly as far in these cities as it does in the first two that we covered. And then as we go north from here, you're gonna see that it starts to get more affordable again. Let's move on from Newport Beach and let's move on to Surf City, USA, Huntington Beach. Let me plug this in here so we can see it on the map. And then I'll search. So we can pull up Huntington Beach here as well too. Now Huntington also is a massive city. So as you can see on the map, it is very north and south as far as it goes. Huntington Beach has the longest stretch of beach by a lot. And the median age here is 43. So it's quite a bit younger as well. We're moving in the younger. This is the youngest median age of any of the beach cities. Not super surprising. Lots of young families, lots of young people in Huntington Beach. There's a lot of people that have lived there for a long time as well too. It's also the biggest population. There's 197,000 people that live in Huntington Beach, which is double the size of Newport at 85,000. So it is massive in comparison to any of these other coastal cities. Now in Huntington Beach, you're gonna get mostly suburbs. So what I would say was probably the most unique thing about Huntington over any of the other cities we've covered so far is two things. One, this massive stretch of beach. You can see just the yellow is the sand. You can see there's just this absolutely massive stretch of water. You have Huntington Harbor, but Huntington Beach is completely flat. I know you can't really see it on this view here, but if you are not like first house in Huntington on the water, you really don't have ocean views at all. Versus every other city we've covered so far, Newport's not very hilly, but Laguna Beach, Dana Point, San Clemente all have ocean views from a lot of different areas. Huntington is very flat. So that part's very unique. So right when you get off of the coast here in Huntington Beach, you're really, you're suburbs, right? So I would say 90%, maybe 80% of all of Huntington Beach is suburbs. Now there's single family houses, there's condos, there's apartment buildings, there's a lot of different stuff. And then your coastal is there's very little of that coastal feel. Now, as far as what you get in Huntington, you have the Main Street, which has got all kinds of different stuff. This is a really cool area. You have the Huntington Beach Pier. And then just south of that, you have a newer development, which is Pacific City. This really revitalized the area down in Huntington Beach. This was something that was newer, probably in the last, let's say 10 years, they built this, and it just made a big difference. There's more stuff to go do. For me personally, always growing up in South Orange County, I would have going to Newport, San Clemente, or Dana Point if I was gonna go out, and I never would have really gone to Huntington other than the events that they do. So they have the US Air Show, they have the US Open, there's a lot of different stuff that happens in Huntington. But outside of that, I really never would have gone before they built Pacific City. It's got some shopping, it's got some great restaurants, beautiful, beautiful views. So that's something that draws a lot more people, a lot more crowds to visit to Huntington Beach. But the beaches are what obviously Huntington is totally known for. But speaking of that, let's go ahead and look at some real estate. I can't imagine that that's actually worth $8 million, so I'm gonna skip past that. And look at the most expensive house that's currently listed in Huntington is in Huntington Harbor. So this is 4 beds, 6 baths, 5,100 square feet. And this was built in 2006. So absolutely beautiful house. It has a dock, good sized house, very exclusive neighborhood. And there's a lot of real estate like that in Huntington. Now, on the flip side, if you go to the lowest price homes, you're going to see there's actually probably some more affordable houses in Huntington than we've seen in any of these other places. And a lot of this is because if we zoom in, the closer you get inland, the less expensive it's going to be. So Huntington has a lot of the suburb pricing that you just don't get in a lot of the other beach cities. The closest you'll probably see is, which is why Dana Point has a lower median price point, is you do have that suburb section where there's really affordable homes for a coastal city. Huntington has that as well too, which leads us to our median home price for Huntington is $1.2 million, which is really just a hair above the median home price for all of Orange County as a whole. All right, so last but not least, we're gonna move on from Huntington Beach to our most north city right before you get to Long Beach. This is the last city in Orange County on the coast, which is Seal Beach. Now, this is a super unique city with a lot of different things going for it. Now, one of the first things that I'll mention, it is the oldest median age, which is not super surprising because you have several senior communities right on the coast. Seal Beach has an amazing kind of downtown beach coastal area. I would say probably most similar to kind of how San Clemente's downtown is, just much smaller. Seal Beach, though, as a whole, if you look at the map, is super funky. So you've got this whole area up here, which is like west of the, or east of the freeway. It's kind of a weird stretch. Honestly, I would never think that these are technically Seal Beach. Leisure World is one of the biggest senior communities, which I think is really raises the average age here. But I think you can see in, let me restart that. So one of the things you'll look at when you're looking at real estate in Seal Beach is you've just got a lot of water here, and there's just not a whole lot of the city that is it's just not very big at all. It's definitely the smallest beach cities, especially if you exclude like this stuff that I never in a million years would have expected was actually Seal Beach, living here my whole life. This is what I think of when I think of Seal Beach, is this beautiful, quaint little area down here where you can have quite literal oceanfront properties for $2 million. Now, one thing that is super unique with Seal Beach is just how much you get for your money. I mean, we are talking, here's a coastal, like oceanfront property right on the sand for $14.5 million. Now, that's not chump change by any stretch of the imagination, but we just looked at what waterfront in Newport costs is $50 million, $60 million. So to have a property like this with this big of a view, this much oceanfront, and it's almost a 9,000 square foot house built in 2004, you just get a lot more house for your money. Also, if you want to be in LA County, but don't want to be in LA County, Seal Beach is a fantastic fit for that. You got a lot of different variations, you get a lot of different character, a lot of different charm, and you're literally right across the street from Long Beach, which has a lot of benefits as well too. Okay, so I know there's a ton of information in this video, and I made a video on each one of these cities individually, so you can check those out as well too. But if you're like me and you really like Dana Point, go ahead and watch this next video that compares Dana Point to Laguna Beach, two of the most popular coastal cities that are totally different. So like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in this next video.